What's up? What's up? What's up? You already know what it is. We back at it. Talk your barber shit on this wonderful Sunday, June 9th. But you know what I do. I just let Instagram send out the notification, start boosting it up, let people know that I am going live today with another special guest out of Chi-Town. I'm looking forward to this conversation today. What's going on? What's going on? Appreciate it. Just letting Instagram do what it do, send out the notification. But you know what time it is. I'm going live at 11. Got special guests out of Chi-Town, Nolan Cut. Dude been doing this thing on Empire, Power. So if you want to know about the film industry, how to work on set and stuff like that, definitely a good conversation that's going to be held today. Send it out, let everybody know, tell them to jump in, tell them that you know what's going on. But right now, I'm just kind of relaxing because I went wild yesterday. Oh man, oh man, yeah, back to back, was throwing them down, back to back, back to back. So, but I made it this morning. I definitely made it in. So man, yeah, appreciate that. Thank you for the birthday shout out. Appreciate that. So. We're gonna go in pretty soon, but you know, just like I said, let everybody know. Tell them to tune in, check out Talkie Barber shit. But until then, you know, I'm just gonna let it do what it do. Also, I always tell you guys, it's good to watch, good to listen. But if you have questions, you have some thoughts that's popping in throughout the conversation of the live, you're most welcome to ask the questions. Either myself or my special guest will reply back to the question, answer it to the best of their capability. But this is what this platform is about. You know, it's good to, you know, have these conversations, but it's also good when people can tune in and share their thoughts, have questions, and it keeps it going. It keeps it, you know, more entertainable. So this is what it's about. I see you, Nolan. Yeah, we can jump in right now. I can see you the notification to let you know that we can go live. So let's get it cracking, man. I'm gonna do it right now. You should receive the notification to tell you accept. So whenever you're ready, join in. What's going on, sir?
Yes, sir. What's going on?
Everything good, man. I just want to say once again, thank you. Um, Sunday, I know it's usually rest day, and I know
Yes,
you
sir.
always got a lot of things going on,
For sure.
but I do really appreciate you jumping on and sharing your information, sharing your journey, sharing your knowledge, because this is what Talkie Barber shit is all about. So I just want to say thank you. Thank you. Could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with me today, and I
Well,
appreciate it. Yeah,
appreciate you. Appreciate you.
thank you, man. Um, I was telling everybody, you know, yesterday was my birthday, and you know, I
Happy
went in pretty.
belated birthday. Yes,
Thank
sir.
you, man. Thank you. I went in pretty hard yesterday, but I was able to get up this morning and still feel energized. And I definitely have to make this happen because you know it was once in the opportunity, you know, when you can reach out to certain people, especially of your accolades, and have these conversations and sit down and chop it up. And I just want to say once again, thank you, and you know, let's get to it.
Yes, sir.
All right, man. I just want to start off from the beginning. You know, we always talk about the things that we're doing now and how the things that you know we're building now. But let's talk about the before, the journey, the growth. Like, when did all this start for you? When was that turning point where you was like, hey, you know, I love these clippers. I love maybe cutting your own hair or
Yeah.
some friends in the neighborhood, and you know, it started from there and kept growing and growing and growing.
Yeah.
But what made you keep holding on to the clippers and say, I can really make a career out of this?
Well, it started off pretty young. I remember one Christmas, my stepbrother got some clippers for Christmas,
Yeah.
and he's also a barber right now. Shout out to Sleepy. He
Okay.
uh, he got the clippers, and so you know. as a child, you know, you get jealous, so you like, man, I want some clippers too. So I went out and bought me some clippers, and I didn't have anybody to work on. So, you
Mhm.
know, Six Flags, you go to Six Flags and you play the games and you get the stuffed animals or whatever.
Okay.
And so I had stuffed animals.
Yeah.
And so I used to practice like designs and fades
Wow.
on my stuffed animals, which is wild.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So then you know, I also had other little younger siblings. So I started training on them and trying different stuff out on them.
Okay.
And it went from that to my friends and started letting me playing their heads, and went to high school. I'm cutting hair for the different teams I was on, basketball, football. I'm in the
Yeah.
locker room cutting everybody hair before the game start. And as it progressed, and I graduated high school,
Yeah.
I was wondering like, what am I going to do next or whatever. And a lot of people was like, oh, you going to college? You going to college? And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go to barber college.
Right.
And they were like, barber college? Why wouldn't you go to college? You ain't gonna make no money doing cutting no hair. And
Mhm.
so
Yeah.
that kind of drives me a little bit more to even go harder. Like, okay, so that's how you feel.
Right.
And I pursued it, and I started working in the shop, and you know, things was going good. And then it came a point in time where, you know, I'm 48 years old, so I'm pretty older than most cats or whatever. And so in the 90s when I
Yeah.
started cutting, it was like popping, like it's high top fades, gumbies, all different type of styles
Yeah.
that you could just flourish off of. So when that started dying down and the braids start coming in and the afros and stuff,
Yeah.
it kind of slowed things down for the barbershop industry. And so
Oh,
as it progressed and so forth and so on, with braids and then locks and things of that nature, you know,
yeah.
stuff started declining. And so I, I almost fell out of love with cutting hair because it was just kind of like uh, uh, a chore at one point. And, you know, barbers is a hard, it's kind of hard because you want that respect. And it's like some clients, you know, your clients, some respect you, some don't. Some they just want their haircut. You know
Right.
what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so with that being said, you know, I just kind of stuck with it, and then it just came to a point, like I said, where I was like, you know, I really I think I should get a job, and, you know, and it until I
Yeah.
got a call one day, and so yeah,
Man,
that was
I,
my journey from the beginning.
no, that's man. I never heard it like that in that perspective. But it's amazing though to hear that like to say that you started on some stuffed animals
Yes,
and
yes,
started perfecting your skills with that.
yes.
And then something else that you brought to my attention because I feel like now, I mean, it's more broader now, and people are now able to shift with it and collectively able to do great things with the locks and the braids and how they could style it now, and you still need the lineup and stuff like that, and
For
you
sure.
know the curvature of the way you know the deficiency of like how you make it stand out and really pop.
Right.
But to hear from like the '90s perspective, like when the braids came in, you know, especially from well, I'm from the West Coast, so yeah, you know, like you know, seeing like Sugar Free or
Yeah.
DJ Quick or you know
Hmm. Snoop.
MC8, yes, the Snoop and all that. Like so, they really didn't talk about like they just you know really had just the braids and stuff. It wasn't like really anything that much you could really do to it. So to hear it from the perspective of like being in the shop and seeing like the transitioning of like
Yeah.
what would be the breaking point of like seeing a lot of more clientels coming in. You said it kind of slowed up a little bit.
Hmm.
I never thought about it like that, and I'm glad that you kind of point that out. Um, what so would you consider that more of that the face value of like the if factor of like man like I'm starting to see the shift and I'm starting to see maybe like you said maybe slowing up a little bit. and you say, okay, now I might have to go, pick up a job. Did that say like, was that like, okay, me leaving the barber shop and the barbering completely just to get a job to sustain my livelihood? Or would you still like, okay, I just need an extra job to pick up and still barber at the same time?
Um, I just felt like the love for me at the time was just diminishing because it just wasn't a lot of work. Like I said, a lot of people had braids and
Yeah,
just lining people up. It's not
yeah,
giving me the creative
yeah,
leeway that I need. You
yeah,
know what I mean? And so with that being said, I, I was almost out the door. I was almost out the door of cutting hair, period, until one time in 2015 when a young lady by the name of Talana Wilson, she worked in the beauty salon that I worked
okay,
in, and she actually left because she was in the film and television industry,
yeah,
and
yeah,
so she called me on a Father's Day in 2015. I'll never forget this, and she said, "Hey, do you still do designs in people's heads and stuff?" And
yeah,
I'm like, "Yeah, for sure."
yeah,
And she like, "Well, I need you to show up here tomorrow." Um, and when you show up, just show up and show out. Now
right,
she's never telling me what's going
yeah,
on, but you
yeah,
know, I trusted her, so I just came to the location. So when I
yeah,
came to the location, it was it's called our studio is called Cinespace, and so it was still under construction, and it was looking like a big abandoned warehouse with like
yeah,
trailers out there. So it's like construction. So I'm thinking like I'm at a construction site. So I'm like, yo, I call her like, uh, I'm not sure where I am, but I, I'm at the address you gave me. And she's like, no, you're here. Do you see trailers? I'm like, yeah. So she came out, brought me on this hair and makeup trailer,
yeah,
and I see all the people from Empire that's
yeah,
on there, Terrence Howard, Taraji, and all that.
yeah,
And it was an audition to be the barber to cut all the guys' hair on
yeah,
there. And man, I mean, first of all, I was shocked, and then when I got the opportunity to really get to it, I did my thing. They loved
yeah,
it. And what's the crazy part is, like, so one of my first people that I did was Jussie Smollett, and when I
yeah,
started cutting his hair, um, the actors they have to go to what's called a table read. So they have to read over the script with each other or whatever. So I'm in the middle of cutting his hair, so I'm at the final part where he's getting a fade, and I was at the last line. I had to fade out,
yeah,
and they had to go, so he had to leave, and he gets up and he looks in the mirror, and he said, "Oh yeah, we're keeping him." And after that, it was just, man, a blessing. I'm telling you, bro, it was a blessing.
yeah,
And I end up cutting on Empire from the second season all the way to the end.
yeah,
And it was amazing, bro. Like the first couple of weeks, I'm not gonna lie, I was very starstruck
right,
because when I came in, it was so many stars.
yeah,
First is Terrence, Taraji,
yeah,
and then you have who was on there? Chris Rock was on there at the time. This was the
everybody,
first week.
yeah, yeah,
Ludacris, Swiss
yeah,
Beats, Al Sharpton, Don Lemon. Just the list goes on, and it just got bigger and better and better as it went on, and I was blown away. But then by that second week, I was like, you know what? These people are my coworkers. Like I work with these people,
yeah.
and so it just went away. And then I just like tuned in and focused on what the job at hand, and it was something else, and it really brought me from giving up on hair,
Yeah,
and just made me just really keep pursuing.
yeah.
And it was an amazing journey.
I love that you spoke about just being ready for the opportunity. Also, like still understanding, like once you walked in that room, that besides everything that was going on, you still kept your composure and kept your knowledge of like, I'm a barber, I'm a hairstylist.
Yeah.
This is what I do. and you let that shine to take everything else where it needed to go.
Yeah.
And you know, some people forget that moment because they get so distracted and they get overwhelmed that they forget, you know, their passion and what they do
Mhm.
and what is the best part of them because they're looking at everything else surrounding them and they lose sight. And
Yes.
you never lost sight
Right.
of that. And
Sure.
look where it took
Yeah.
you. Uh, um, I always like to, you know, trickle a little bit back. As far as like when you were in the salon in the barbershops, what was the thing that you wanted to bring most when you walked through those doors and you set up your table in your area? What was something that you wanted to deliver within yourself, but also when people sat in your chair that they knew once they sat in this chair that this definitely maybe gonna be on they definitely gonna be their next home.
Yeah.
Like yeah,
Well, I mean, my goal every time that I go into the shop is just to make my clients look their best. You
yeah,
know, they depend on me to make them look their best. So with that being said, I always am dedicated to do my best for my client
mhm,
because that's the whole just of being a barber. Like you're there to please this customer and give them a service, and you have to give your best service, and you have to be on point at all times. You know what I mean? And thankfully, because I've worked in the shop and I've been around women and men and just a conglomerate of things, because in the salon that I was in, there were celebrities coming in, but you have to realize when you end up cutting these celebrities or what have you, they're they're people. You know what I mean? And you can't lose sight of that
yeah,
because when you lose sight of that, then you're like, oh, well, and you're not going to do your best,
right,
point blank.
yeah.
So, yeah, that's one thing I always do. I start my day off with a prayer, and I just hope to do my best with everyone, and it's never failed me.
Um, to this day, and you know, with everything that you know maybe looking forward to doing next or got going on right now within this field, how do you keep your passion and the creativity still there? Like when you walk in these rooms, or you doing what you're doing, like does it still feel the same when you first picked up the clippers, or how is it feeling now?
Um, it definitely doesn't feel the same, and I say that because the way times change and the way styles change.
Yeah,
Today's style and whole concept is kind of weird because it's like the style is not having a style. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And it's like, and I say that as far as like the sponge and just like the nappy hair at the top, but you got a clean fade at the bottom. I guess the
yeah,
athletes brought that about, but I really don't like that. But you know, I have to aim to please. You know
yeah,
what I mean? And I know time goes around and it recycles, and I'm just hoping that those times come back around when people want a creative hairstyle.
yeah,
You know what I mean? But as far as my creativity, it's kind of hard for me because like right now, or when I'm working on a television show,
uh-huh,
I'm focused on these characters. So it's the same haircut for these characters all the time.
yeah,
So I work on set from Monday to Friday, but Saturdays I work in the salon or the shop, my shop, and
uh-huh,
I use that to keep me grounded because if I just cut on the show all the time, I can't grow like that. You know what I'm saying? Because it's
yeah,
the same haircut. You know,
yeah,
or, like, right now I'm working on Power Book 4 Force in Chicago, and
yeah,
that's the Power with Tommy.
yeah, yeah.
And so you know, I cut Joseph's hair all the time, and you know, if I just do that all the time,
You're right.
that's not
Yeah,
gonna make me better. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And when I go to the shop on Saturday, it gives me that. okay, now I can be more creative because anybody's gonna come in and these different styles. Everybody wants something different instead of me doing that same cut all the time.
Uh, I like that you spoke on that because I always wonder like I know some people still do both. They still work at the shop, or if at whatever project that they're working on at that time allows them to kind of like do both, or sometimes they just fully on set and they just working the whole time for like months and months in. And then for you to express like when you're doing one style all the time and not refreshing your catalog and look building on newer trends or going back to the things that you were so passionate about for now because now you're working off of a sheet of paper of what the styles they want you to be creative and bring to set. I like that you said on Saturdays you still go back to the shop. Is this your shop or
Yeah,
are you
this
just
is my,
working?
my shop. It's,
Okay,
Cut Life Studios
cut
in
nice,
Lacuna Loft. Yeah,
nice.
in Chicago.
How is it for you to be in both realms of this world, to be a owner but also working on set and doing what you're doing? Like, how do you sustain and make sure that, the vision that you had when you created your own salon, your own barbershop, and make sure that that's manifesting to where you want it to be, but still have to be creative and do what you're doing in the industry of film? How do you manage both?
But thank God I have a great partner, Walt the barber. Me and him both own the shop. It's just me and him in the shop. It's a
Okay.
nice, quaint, cozy spot. You know what I'm saying? Where my customers come in, and I try to. I only come in the shop because I show loyalty to my customers because they've shown loyalty from through my
Yeah.
journey of being on
Yeah.
set. You know what I mean? I mean, I know I put them through a lot and I'm not there when they
Also,
really,
yeah.
really need me to be there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like everybody can't always get their hair cut on Saturdays.
Yeah.
So I do this for them. You know what I mean? It's not to say that I don't have to be in the shop. Like I want to be in the shop,
Yeah.
but with my hours working on on set, like sometimes on Fridays, especially with the Empire, that we would work into the morning time. So
Yeah.
let's say I got off at 6 o'clock in the morning and
Yeah.
I had a customer at 7:30. So I just go to the shop, take a nap in the shop, and just get to it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
And it's all for loyalty because I appreciate my customers because they've stuck with me this long. So shout out to all my customers. I really appreciate y'all.
100%. You know, we in definitely in a new era of like, social media. Now, like, back in the day where we would have like books showing like our cuts and the stuff that we can offer and what we can, give you. But now everything is like
Yeah.
your portfolio is your social media now and the stuff that you're doing and the videos you put up and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I know for yourself, especially being in the industry, you can't show a lot of that stuff until the project is way done down
Exactly.
the line. And then for you to, like you say, I mean, from your advertising, your marketing is word of mouth. But the people that are in the industry now, they have to use social media to build their clientele and stuff like that. Um,
Yeah.
how does that benefit for you, or does it you don't really care too much for the social media world? How much do you like it now? How
Yeah. I personally, social media is not that to me. I'm only on social media because of what I do. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like if I
yeah,
wasn't a barber, even if I wasn't on set, I probably wouldn't even be on social
yeah.
media because I don't like social media for one. But I find it interesting because like we said, it's a new time and the new generation.
Yeah.
That's what they want to go to. Oh, what's your Instagram? So
Yeah.
they want to see my Instagram to see what I'm cutting like. And on my Instagram, I don't really put cuts like that. You know what I'm saying? Because, bro, I've been
Yeah.
cutting hair for 30 years in the salon, in the shop.
Right.
I work in salon, shop. I don't
Yeah.
feel like I need to. I mean, you could come to me or you don't have to. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You could believe in what I have to give or you don't. You know what I mean? Like that's not my thing. And a lot of people end up being pretty shocked when I do what I do. You know what I mean? And I do it
Let,
at a fast pace. You know what I mean? Um, for a long time before I got into the industry on set, I was very much against enhancements.
yeah.
I'm pretty much against them now
Yeah.
because the enhancements now are ridiculous. It's not barbering to me.
Yeah.
It's hiding. You're hiding your mistakes
Yeah.
with these colors and these airbrushes.
Yeah.
And I mean, I know a lot of people need enhancements because they might be bald in the front or their
Correct.
lining
Yeah.
might not be where they want it to be. But now it's just gone from that to just like the white line. I absolutely that's atrocious to me. Like I never understood that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it started with the Beijings. The Beijings was crazy. Like Beijing is crazy.
Yeah. I don't
But
know if it's true or not, but I see the video somebody posted, and this is my boy. I love him to death. I mean, I'm a big fan of his music, Busta Rhymes, and I don't know if you've seen that picture where he has like the full black Beijing look on his head now. And I'm
yeah,
like, who did it and told him this was okay? Like,
I have no idea because the crazy part is when you get home and let's just say you get in the shower, the next day your haircut is trash. And you paid $60, $50 for this haircut with
yeah,
all these enhancements,
yeah.
and it doesn't even look like you got a haircut.
Right.
So just to maintain your haircut, you have to not wash your hair or do anything to it for a week. That's bananas. Like, nah. Like,
Let me ask you this.
I like the naturalness of it. I like just blending. I like
Yeah,
blending. You know, I like comb, clipper over comb. That's my thing. Like
yeah,
at our barbershop, like that's what we specialize in. Like clipper over comb because I mean that's how you cut hair. You know what I mean, and that's how you get the best work. See, YouTube and all this social media tries to show everybody and make it seem so simple to cut hair. We go, oh, you need this guard and just use this guard and did. But you really have to have an eye for it. You almost got to be an artist of some sort to
yeah,
understand shading and things of that nature, just to get that blend that you want. I find that a lot of people that can draw are pretty good barbers.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, for you, and I don't know if this like crosses over the same way, but like when you're doing your projects, can you use like social media for you to use like as your portfolio to say, hey, I worked on this show or you worked on this film, and does that give you more opportunities for producers to see or actors that's working on a project to be like, oh, you know, I love that he worked with such and such. I might want to bring him on to cut my hair. Can that be something that could be
So what?
used like?
So yeah, it's not social media so much for me. It's IMDb.
Oh, okay,
So if you go on IMDb, you'll see all my credits for all the things that I worked on.
okay,
Um, so that's basically how I would present it to a producer or a celebrity or something of that nature. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
So being in the shop and cutting someone's hair, you could take, depending on the style, 25, 35, 45 minutes, maybe an hour, depending on what they want. How does that work when you transition into, you know, when you're in this on set and you're in the trailers and they say, hey, I need you to do this certain fade or an add addition where you got to maybe add a piece and shape it up and start, and you got to do that roughly under 30 minutes. How is that like? How is that pressure?
Uh, it's not really pressure for me because I cut at a decent rate. Um, I'm not gonna lie, cutting on set has really sped me up because
Okay.
I know I only have this amount of time to do this
Yeah.
person. You know what I mean? A lot of times, well, first of all, when people ask me, this is crazy. When people ask me what I do on set, like they're so clueless. So I just want to explain to everybody. So first, like this year, I am the department head of hair. So like
Okay.
I I I I supervise
Yeah.
all the hairstyles. I choose the hairstyles, and I have a team that I work with, and and you know, I tell them what I want, and I tell them what production wants, and we work together to achieve that. I make wigs, I do things of that nature.
Mm,
So, a lot of people think I just cut hair, like they like, oh, you cut their hair every day, and it's just like, yes. And the only reason why I cut their hair every day is because it's called continuity. So let's just say I go in, and today on the schedule, I cut this actor for day one of this scene, but then the next scene is day two.
mm,
So let's just say day one they had a fresh haircut or whatever. I always have to make sure on day one that this person has that same haircut.
mm.
You know, um, that's the probably one of the most difficult things in working on
Yeah.
set is continuity.
Yeah.
A lot of people try to come to set and like do their best job.
Yeah.
And when you're working in the industry and the film and TV, it's good to do your best
Yeah.
job, but what you're trying to do is tell a story.
Okay.
So
I
if
love that.
I need you to just like say the scene calls for it's a gang meeting and they're outside dealing drugs,
Yeah.
everybody's not going to be cut like to perfection.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and you just have to keep in mind what this calls for.
Yeah.
And so, with that being said, like a lot of people think like you can't be cutting their hair all day. You have to maintain their look. Let's just say they got into a fight, like I was saying, when I cut Joseph, because his hair is free flowing and his texture is very fine. Like the wind might blow his hair, or he gets into a fight and maybe his hair is all over the place. And now, okay, cut. We got to reset that scene. So now I got to go in
Yeah.
and brush it back and put it back how it was when we first started the scene.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people think that I get paid like the actors pay me. I've heard that many times. Like, how much do the actors pay you to cut their hair? And that's not how it goes.
Yeah.
It's a salary base or hourly wage, and I work in a union.
Yeah.
Shout out to local 476 Studio Mechanics Union.
Yeah.
Um, and we are always trying to level up with the way we do things in my industry because it's a fast-paced industry.
Yeah.
And like you said, so if I come in and let's just say I have 7 people to get
Yeah.
ready, 7 guys to get ready,
Yeah.
I have to cut their hair in at least 20-minute increments. So I'm just gone. Like I'm focused, I'm gone. Oh, can you bring the next person in? Like I have to make sure I maintain these people's look. That's first of all, maintain the look and get them right in an efficient amount of time. It's a lot of stunt doubles. So Tommy has a stunt double. So I have to make this guy look exactly like Joseph. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's a lot, bro. Like it's a lot. But I love it though. You know what I'm saying? Like I love that aspect of it. I wish I could do more period pieces. Like if I was on Raising Canaan, like that would be my shit because it's like the 90s. You know what I'm saying? So I could do high top fades, steps, gumbies, shags. Like I could go crazy on that. But being that force is set upon the date of right now, it's kind of like how it is now. Like a lot of
Right.
people got the sponge look. A lot of people
Yeah.
like it's not a whole lot of creativity. The creativity comes when I need to do a double,
Mhm.
like a photo double or a stunt double. I gotta make a wig. This guy has sponge twist or he has dreads, and this guy his stunt double is bald. So I have to make a whole wig, and sometimes it's creative, and sometimes it's a little hectic. But I as long as I just focus, I usually get the job done.
I love that you spoke on, being focused and, being aware of what's going on around you and to amplify that and put that into everything that you want to, develop. Um, how do you, per se, from outside the industry, have moments for yourself where you're understanding who you need to be capability of, like, okay, I've been all over the place, I've been at the shop, I've been working on set. How do you have your moment of relaxation and having the moment to depart all that, so when you come back into your realm of your world of being at the salon or being on set, that you feel more recovered, feel more fresh, and be able to move forward and deliver the best to your capability of the work that you're putting out into the world. Because I know
Yeah.
sometimes we can be so overwhelmed and always going and moving
Oh, definitely.
that we don't find time to relax and distress everything that we're going
Yeah.
through.
Well, that's
Yeah,
today. This is my day that I do that. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
But on a daily basis, though, I try to meditate. I get up very early in the morning, no matter what my call time
yeah,
is, because I try to get ahead on the day. Like I say, I'm older, so I try to take advantage of my whole day. Like that's my thing now. Like, so if I get up at like 4 o'clock in the morning, then I go out and jog and just clear my mind, put my earbuds in, and just zone out, and then when it's time to work, it's time to work.
yeah,
You know what I mean? But I often find time to just do nothing. Like Sundays, I usually just do nothing,
yeah,
even though I have a lot of errands to run because that's really my only off day.
yeah,
Um, yeah. So that I mean Sundays, meditation,
yeah,
working out, trying to better my body
yeah,
because I have a strenuous schedule.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
I just try to keep my body straight because I just lost like 25 pounds. And so
Okay, yeah,
I'm trying to lose 15 more, but I'm also trying to just to be healthy to go about my work week.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
Because when I start the morning with that jog and that workout, like that energizes me for the day.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so then by the time my 14, 16 hour shift is over with, I come home, I'm straight to sleep.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And ready to get up early the next day and repeat.
Let me ask you this: as far as everything that has went down for the last few years, this last remaining of the years that we went through COVID, then you guys had the rider strikes and everything. Like, how was that for you? And how was you able to cope and keep your head above water and deal with everything that was going on to now be back in the situation where you at now and doing the things. In other words, what triggered that more of an ambition to say, hey, once this is over with, I'm gonna start doing this. I'm gonna work on this. So if something happens again, I'm good. Like, what was those moments for you?
Well, luckily I get paid well, so I always put money away for a rainy day.
Yeah.
An older lady that I worked with on Empire, her name is Beverly Joe. She really told me a lot about the industry and explained to me how nothing is promised. nothing lasts forever. A show could be canceled. You could come in and the show could be canceled, and then you guys could work no more, and or that just it could be taken off the air, and you always have to be ready for those type of situations.
Yeah.
Now with the COVID, that was a whole different thing. I lost my mom during the
Sorry.
COVID time, not to COVID, but in 2020. So it was a lot going on. Um, it's just a lot of praying and just really managing your money very well. That's what it really boils down to. And then the writer's strike, it was just like for myself and people in the industry, it was almost like COVID all over again, the pandemic all over again, because we were all out of work for at least 8 months, and everybody was. It was getting bad for a lot of people, even myself.
Yeah.
But I was still going to the shop, but at the same time, by me only working on Saturdays, my clientele isn't the best. You know what I mean? People might think that I have an amazing clientele, but I really don't, because I'm only there on Saturday. So then if I come, so the show's done, and then I come back to the shop for however many months, half the time, even though I do post and let people know I'm in the shop, a lot of people don't know that I'm in the shop.
Yeah.
So it is kind of difficult from time to time, but I just try to maintain and focus and just pray on it, and most of the time it works out. You know what I mean? As long as I don't just give up.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I never give up. You know what I mean? I always try to pursue. I'm also a producer. I also do a lot of music.
Hey, I was just
Um,
gonna bring that up. I was just keep going, because I saw the sway thing. I saw
yeah. So,
it.
so I do a lot of music production.
Yeah.
I go by No One on the Beat,
Yeah.
and
Crazy.
I'm pretty decent with that, and that
They
also
sound
helps
pretty
me.
decent. I'm so modest.
And that also helps
Yeah.
me, takes me away. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Because I'm not cutting or nothing. I could just go do music and just focus, and like that takes me away
Yeah.
from all the stress or whatever, because I get to put that out in the music. I do a lot of boom bap and a lot of R&B and things of that nature. I don't really mess with the trap or the drill or nothing
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
I'm an older cat, so I like to keep it
Yeah.
how it was. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I want to really bring that back, but that's for another show.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
100%. So that's what I was leading to when I was actually like, what other things that you're working on, or I know we always hear or we see that people say, I'm working behind the chair to walk away from being behind the chair. But do you feel like that? Like, your next move is like, okay, I'm happy with, being a barber, but I want to do this and that and that. Like, this was
Yeah.
just that building point to get me to that next point of what I really want to do. Or do you like everything else that's on the outside? Barber helped that, but I still love barbering, and if I get a chance to do any of that stuff, it's cool. But barbering and being behind the chair is where it is.
Um, for me, barbering is I enjoy barbering, but I feel like barbering is just the has been a stepping stone or a gateway to help me with my music production. It pays for a lot of studio time and
Yeah.
equipment and things of
Yeah.
that nature.
Yeah.
But uh, I enjoy barbering. I would probably always have a shop, even if I don't work there.
Yeah.
Um, but I really enjoy music production. I also want to license my stuff for like TV, films, and commercials, and
Yeah.
video games, and that nature.
Yeah.
I feel like you can never get too old to make music.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's awesome. Um, I always like to ask my guests this. If you had a doorway that you could walk to and speak to that 16-year-old or 15-year-old self of you, would you change anything, give him a blueprint of what your life is right now? Or would you let that 16-year-old, that 15-year-old go through whatever he was going, he like yourself went through to be where you at now? Or would you try to speed up the process or change or tweak a little something?
I feel like I would tweak it a little bit. I would probably tell him to look into that, the whole film and TV industry, and see how you can maneuver your way into that.
Yeah,
I feel like if I would have done that a little earlier in my life, I feel like that would have taken me a long way. Um, but I feel like my journey has come through all the things that I've went through. So
yeah,
it's almost like I don't think I would change anything, because
yeah,
I wouldn't be where I am. Because when I was 19, I mean, I was cutting. I was still in barber college.
yeah,
I wasn't making any money. My
yeah.
dad got me an interview at the post office,
Mhm.
and the knucklehead young me, I didn't pass the drug test. So my dad was very disappointed in me because he had the job lined up.
Yeah.
And now that I think about it, if I would have worked for the post office,
Right.
I wouldn't be talking to you right now. You know
Right.
what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just like, and I can attribute all my hard work and my dedication to my kids. I have two girls. They grown now, 23 and 27.
Yeah.
Um, I raised my kids. They grew up with me, not with their mom.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I was a single dad, and I was always striving to be my best for them,
Yeah.
to show a good example for them,
Yeah.
and just keep pushing and keep pushing. And I feel like barbering really took me where I wanted to go. Because I didn't want to go to college. Like, I'm not a school person. Like,
Yeah.
school isn't for
Yeah.
everybody. And if I had it to tell myself, I would tell myself, like, you don't have to go to college. Just focus on being the creative you that you are, and use that. You know what I mean? That's what I would definitely tell my 16-year-old self, to just stay creative and use that to take you to that next level. Because without my creativity, I wouldn't be anything. I'll just be a regular Joe Schmo. You know what I mean? I'm working a 9 to 5, pissed off that I got to go to work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And now I love going to work. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I love going to the shop because I don't have a boss. I am the boss. I
Right.
mean, I love going to work because I'm the boss at work. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just
Yeah.
so many things that my creativity and my patience. That's another thing. You got to be patient,
Yeah.
bro. Like, everything's just not gonna fall in your lap. If it does, that's a blessing, and that's cool. But you have to be patient and respect the process. You definitely got to respect the process, respect the grind, respect those around you, because without that respect to others around you, I don't know. I think I would be on another level too, because a lot of people respect what I do. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And they appreciate me and love the work that I do. And I give back. I love giving back. I would love to tell a lot of kids like that's in high school that are struggling, and just like bad
Yeah.
kids,
Yeah.
like, you don't always have to go to college, but you do have to get some type of trade or some type of skill
Yeah.
that's going to put you ahead of the rest. And even if that's whatever you're good at, you know what I mean? Whatever you're good at,
Yeah.
use that. If you like fixing things, keep
Yeah.
striving to do that, to
Yeah.
be the best fixer that you can. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whatever makes you happy, because at the end of the day, life may not be about happiness, but it's about being content, and being content with yourself.
Yeah.
So as long as you content with yourself and you pleased with the work that you do, every day is a joy. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
Yeah, yeah,
I'm tired when I go to work because we have crazy banana hours,
yeah,
but I very much love going to set. I love being on set. I love doing what I do. I mean, barbering has changed my life tremendously, and I really appreciate God putting those skills and abilities in me to be able to do that. So without that, man, I don't know what I'd be doing. I'd probably be in jail, selling drugs or whatever. Because I mean, I've had a terrible past, and I've took myself out that past
yeah,
through my creativity and through barbering.
yeah,
And barbering has really taken me to where I wanted
yeah.
to go. So, all you young barbers out there, never give up. Never ever give up. Believe in yourself. Keep trying to better yourself. Keep trying to set yourself apart from all the rest,
Mhm.
and you'll be fine.
Oh man, that was fire. um, my next question is like being on. I want to ask you these few questions, like being on set and being able to create these looks and these visuals for the consumer like me that's going to watch these films that are shows that you're working on and stuff like that. I know back in the day, like say Stacey Cuts, she does her things when she worked on Martin and she did all these other
Fresh
episodes and all these
Prince, she did
Fresh
a lot
Prince
of
and
stuff.
stuff like that. Yeah,
She's an amazing barber. She's one of the people that I'm like, yeah, she is amazing.
yeah.
And it's also a guy named Pierce.
Okay.
He he's like Will's personal. Like
Yeah, yeah,
he's done a lot in the hair industry
yeah,
for us, and like those people are freaking amazing.
yeah,
Conrad, he
yeah,
is
yeah,
Jamie Foxx barber.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah,
these people are
yeah,
amazing talents, and they use their gifts and they
yeah,
just kept going. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah. So like, to be around and see that and like for me growing up, I was really into fashion, started a clothing line and stuff, and was able to take it so to a platform that I never thought I would be able to take it. Um, wasn't able to sustain it because just the money and stuff and trying to mass produce and all that stuff like that was being a solo person was really hard.
Mm.
But growing up and seeing Cross Colors and Carl Kanai and all this other stuff, and then seeing the cuts and stuff on the episodes was like, it made you feel like, damn, you looking at yourself, you seeing yourself, and then like now you being in there and you doing what you see it, and now it's like you said, you being the front man of like making sure that these looks come across. Because when you see these shows, people want to be able to look and say, "Oh, I see myself in that person," or
Yeah.
yeah,
Or I want that
yeah,
style.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Yeah.
yeah. How does that make you feel to know that you in that same region of like, maybe you when you was a kid looking at these shows and now being there and now you're the representation of like creating this and making sure that, our culture or, is being represented the right way or that look is being represented the right way. How does that make you feel?
Oh, it's amazing. When I was on Empire and I was uh doing
Yeah,
Hakeem, like
yeah, I was gonna bring that
like
up.
that was that was a good time because I was hella creative.
Yeah,
A lot of people don't know a lot of things that went on behind the scenes and what was going on. You know, it was a difficult time for me because I was fresh in the industry, so I didn't understand a lot of things.
yeah,
And and like you said, I wasn't I wasn't as fast in the beginning because I'm used to being in the barbershop. So in the barbershop, you could just take your time. You talking
yeah.
to these people,
Right,
these people psychiatrists and every
right.
therapist and whatever. And when I got on the trailer to start cutting, you know, I'm still doing that same thing. And my boss and the makeup artist, you say, hey, it's not the barbershop. You
Right.
can't do that. You know, you can't talk to these people. You can't, I mean, you could talk to them, but you know, you got to work. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
And so when I bring up Hakeem, a lot of people don't know every episode he had a different design in his head.
Yeah.
So takes it takes at that time it took 8 days to do one episode. So every 8 days I would have to put a new design in this man's head.
Wow.
And sometimes we would have to do reshoots. So if I had a design on this side,
Mm-hmm.
I would have to use fibers, cover this up, make it look faded,
Mm-hmm.
and then put the design on this side just for for the sake of continuity.
Yeah.
And that was difficult many times. I remember when he went and played Michael Bibbins on the New Edition story,
Yeah.
and he cut all his hair
Yeah.
off. And when he came back, it was a continuation from the season before. So he had to look exactly like how he did. And he had cut all his hair off. So then I had to make a wig.
Yeah.
And he had a wig on for 8 episodes that I clipped on the top of. So he had, no one ever knew, which was freaking amazing because that means I did my thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So a lot of people used to inbox me and really be like, man, you lacing him, and I used to see like memes and posts of how kids used to go in the shop and mimic my styles on their heads.
Yeah.
It was just like so amazing to see, like, bro, like it was very flattering. Like I said, I wish he wasn't on social media, but then people just start saying things on social media like, oh man, this year on Empire, these haircuts are fire, and who's cutting these heads? And it was just amazing. And I'm really grateful for the opportunity to have worked on an amazing show like that, a black show like that.
Yeah.
And it was the #1 show on television. Like it was amazing, bro. And I take from that the mindset that I have now. And shout out to my first boss, the head of the hair department for Empire, Melissa Forney. She really instilled in me a lot of things that helped me be the great on-set barber that I am today. Without her, I feel like I wouldn't be the way I am today because she made a way for me. As far as a lot of barbers, they just cut and go home.
Yeah.
But she made sure I stayed on set. I maintained that actor's look, and she wanted me to be there as a part of that because she could have just let me cut their hair, and then they could have kept maintaining their looks on set. But she saw the talent in me, and she knew my abilities, and she knew what I could do. A lot of times she would just throw me in the fire, and I would make it out.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, dang, she's not gonna show me what to do right here, nothing. And she just like put me in those situations where it was like sink or swim. And I can recall a moment when I was in Boy Scouts and my troop leader pushed me in the pool to show me how to swim.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? It was one of those things where go ahead and do it, and you either gonna sink or swim. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I really appreciate her for that. And yeah, I mean that was my takeaway from everything.
That's right. Yeah. After that, I'm like, where do I go next? um, personal growth. Like, what's your next personal growth in the next? What is something that you feel like honestly you want to personally do for yourself? I know, I mean, everything as far as like working on set and accomplishments you have done is amazing, but anything like outside of that that's very personal to you, that family family, you know.
I mean, my family
Yeah.
is is my main focus. I love music. I love music. I I love just being creative.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whatever that may be, I love just being creative. Um, I really love doing things that people say I can't do.
Yeah.
I say that because,
Yeah.
uh, like I said, I'm the head of the hair department for
Yeah.
our show.
Yeah.
Um, I am the first barber to in Chicago to ever be head of a hair department. I'm the first
Wow. Wow.
black man to ever be head of a hair department in Chicago.
Wow.
Um, so with this year, this has happened, and I was told many a times, because I'm a barber and I don't know how to do women's hair, even though I have picked up things from
Right.
here and there. I have gone to
Yeah.
cosmetology school and I have worked on females, but it didn't give me that same passion
Yeah.
that barbering had. So I know a little bit about female hair
Yeah.
and what to do, but I would say just just trying to be another department head for another show or just on a movie. I've yet to do a movie yet.
Okay.
Um, I've done. I take that back. I've done movies, but I've never been out of town and done a movie.
Okay.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, I just want to keep going, bro. Like I don't want to stop. Like I said, I try to keep my health together, so I don't use that as a
Yeah.
crutch. You know what I'm saying? So I am very content with where I am in life right now, and I just want my accomplishments and everything that I've done to be shown. Like I don't have to be famous, but I just want to be recognized.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
when I was on Empire, I was nominated many times for awards for the hair and stuff like that.
Yeah.
We never won because it's gatekeepers of that nature. But
Right.
we're not going to get
Right.
into that.
Yeah.
But
Right.
uh, just the acknowledgement, even being nominated for these awards, it's a great accomplishment for a person that never thought that I would be here. You know what I mean? I never thought that barbering would take me here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that in itself is it always amazes me that barbering has taken me here. A guy a kid that started off cutting on stuffed animals
Right.
cut celebrities' hair. You know what I mean? Like I would, and growing up, it's crazy because growing up, as you watching television or you watching sports, you're like, man, who is cutting these people? Like I know I could do better than that. I remember what's crazy. Like no disrespect to Scottie Pippen, but I remember growing up, I used to hate his haircuts, especially like one time he had cut all his hair out and he had that, he's got wrinkles and stuff.
Yeah.
I used to hate Scottie Pippen. I'm like, ooh, if I could just cut Scottie Pippen's hair one time,
Right.
it would be amazing. And even when I was watching Empire the first season, I'm looking at their haircuts and I'm just like, these guys are millionaires and it's just not translated on television. Man, I wish I could. And God bless me, bro. Like God has really blessed me, bro. And I'm not a super religious person.
Yeah.
I do believe in God and I believe in a higher power. And He has really blessed me, man. And I owe everything to Him.
It's funny because that's my next leeway into the next question, and it's called law of attraction. And I always ask my guests, like, how do you use law of attraction in your everyday life, as far as your business or just your personal structure? What does law of attraction mean to you?
I don't really believe in manifesting and the law of attraction like that. I just really like getting it done. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like sometimes, not all the time, but manifesting and that, it make you lazy because you expecting it to come. Like, oh, let me just keep on thinking about it. if you don't put in the work, I just feel like nothing will ever happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So for myself, it's not really law of attraction. It's just putting in the work and being
Yeah.
consistent with the work that you do
Yeah.
for myself. You know what I'm saying? And just believing. You have to believe in yourself. Like you have to believe in your skills and you have to believe in yourself. And I think believing in yourself is more powerful than the law of
Yeah.
attraction.
I just want to say thank you, Nolan. You came and you delivered today. Like this was awesome.
God,
Um,
God bless you.
Everybody that watched and joined in spoke highly. Legendary. He's the great. He's the one. So you are loved. People do see you and they know who you are. And just keep being you and keep doing what you're doing. And Chi-Town has a great guy on their hands right now that's taking over and doing great things in the industry. And I just wish you nothing more but blessings and keep being you.
Gratitude, man. And thank you for the opportunity to be on your show. And thank you for putting this show together to shine light on barbers and people in the industry that not normally get a chance
Yeah.
to shine. So
Thank you.
kudos to you
Thank you.
and very much a blessing to be on your show,
Thank you.
brother.
Means a
Yes,
lot.
sir.
Thank you.
Yes,
All right.
sir.
Have a good one, man. I'm
For
going to
you
keep
too,
checking
man.
and chopping it up with you because that's my next mission. I definitely want to be in the industry over here in LA. So, I've been barbering over a little bit, 6 years now,
Yeah.
and took
The
my
union is
yeah,
706. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
Uh,
the union, man. Got to get on that permit
yeah,
list, man. We were nominated many times for their union, the hair and makeup guild.
yeah,
And so you just gotta put yourself out there,
yeah,
man. Like it's gonna be hard. A person like myself, I got into the industry differently than other people. A lot of people come to the industry and they go straight to background. And you just doing background work, and I started straight on the trailer, straight with first team,
yeah,
straight with celebrities, and that's not an everyday opportunity.
yeah,
So my situation is different. I was hella blessed, and even if I wasn't blessed with that, I still would have kept striving to try to show what I could do.
yeah,
But to all those barbers out there that really want this, just keep striving and keep believing in yourself, bro.
yeah,
Because that's what only that matters. You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? And shout out to you and keep striving to do your best, brother.
Well, let me ask you this for people that are watching and maybe thinking about this process as well. For your sake, and definitely being a department lead, head of the department of this industry, what is something that you think before anybody even tries to step in this realm, something that they should like go study or go take classes on or before they walk in through those trailer doors, what type of mindset that they should have or what they should already have set in stone when they walk in there, they already ready and prepped. Like what is it that you see that some people are not doing that you be like, well, he can cut or she can cut very well, she can do this, but if she had a little bit of this or he had a little bit of this, it could take them further. What is that
Try to figure out what the set etiquette is. What's the proper things to do while you're on set? And also, like I said before, you're there to tell a
yeah,
story. You're not there to show that you're the best barber in the world. You're there to tell a story. So just be mindful of that and be able to tell that story and translate. Oh, this person was in the fight, so I have to make them look disheveled. Or this person is going through something. Like you have to see what the story is about and be able to translate that through your art.
mm-hmm.
Um, and just have that etiquette on set and know what to do. And a lot of these unions have these courses where you could come and understand what to do on set and when to go in or when what this lingo means and what that means. And I'm hoping when things slow down for myself, I can have those classes for people like myself and people in the industry just to let them know and just show them what they need to know. So when they go in there, they're ready to go.
Yeah. All right. All right. Well, you gonna make it happen. I know you are.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All
And when
right,
I come
boss.
to LA, I'm gonna look you up,
Man,
man.
definitely. I'm a DM you my telephone number, and then when you out here, let's definitely link up.
Yeah, for
Um,
sure. That's
I
what's
don't know
up.
if you know Rhonda. She's a part of 706, but I've been connecting with her as well
Okay.
in the Crenshaw district. So yeah, yeah. If you ever down here, like hit me up, and yeah, we'll make something happen.
For
All
sure.
right,
For sure.
boss.
Appreciate you, bro.
Thank you, man.
Thank you.
All right.